Hello, everybody. Kris from the Brothers Take here. Hope you are all keeping very well. And I just wanted to do a bonus segment now that we're at the end of 2022 to look back on what were my top 10 most anticipated games at the start of the year and to reflect on what I thought of those games when I finally got around to playing them and where do they fall, at the end of the year on my list of games that I most enjoyed. I did say at the beginning of the year that, they would probably change order based on when more information came out about them and when I actually got around to playing them, and they really, really did. This list kind of changed a lot throughout the year. My anticipation levels grew in some cases and really, really decreased in others. So let's look back on the order in which I had them and then my thoughts on each of those games. So spot number 10, I had Trek to Yomi. I had this here on my most anticipated games list because of the art style. But I gotta say, when I got around to playing it on Game Pass, I played a little bit of it. And I just wasn't crazy about the combat. So this is not a game that I finished. And it hasn't really stood out to me at all. I still think the art style is gorgeous. But beyond that, this game just wasn't for me. Spot number 9, I had Hellblade 2. I was really looking forward to this game. I think we'd all assumed at the start of the year that it was going to come out this year, and then of course it got delayed, and we still don't really know when this game is coming. So it's still a game that I anticipate, but my anticipation levels have gone down given that there's just no indication yet as to when we will see it. I do hope that we see it in 2023, but just nothing has been confirmed yet. Even when Xbox did their showcase of games coming in the next 12 months earlier in the year, that was not on that list, so it was hard to know. It's so is that coming in 2023 or not? We just don't know. Spot number 8, I had Hogwarts Legacy, and I had this game on the list because I was looking forward to having a game that myself and my partner, who's a huge Harry Potter fan, could play together. This has climbed up in my anticipation because, at this point, or at the start of the year, we had only had the sort of reveal trailer for Hogwarts Legacy. We had nothing else beyond the fact that, obviously it has been delayed now, right? So I didn't get around to playing it. But my anticipation levels have genuinely grown because of the state of play, for example, that showed much more of how the game works, and also the other gameplay showcases that they have done more recently, showing off how the gameplay actually works for this game. The amount of content that is available, this game looks like incredible and crazy. It looks nuts. Really, really looking forward to this game. So you might see this on my top anticipated games list going into 2023 actually as well, and it might be higher than it was initially. Spot number 7, I had Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Played it. This was a really fun game. Really enjoyed playing it with my partner. Haven't jumped into doing all of the content though. I haven't felt the need to go in and go full completionist on it, but I really enjoyed playing through all of the missions, all of the levels, and collecting all the characters. Did some of the side content for sure, but just didn't jump into the completion. I think there's a lot of content there, and some of it is too much. But really, really fun game. Spot number 6, I had Starfield, another Xbox game that was delayed. However, we do know that this is actually coming next year, and I look forward to playing it. We did get to see a bit more of it during the year, and I have to say my anticipation for this game has decreased a little bit. I'm not as excited for it as, say, I've now become for Hogwarts Legacy. These two probably would have swapped places if I was to adjust this list during the year. But I still think I'm still interested in it. It's coming to Game Pass, so I'm definitely going to jump in and play it when it comes. But I can now wait. I'm not eagerly anticipating it. Spot number 5, I had A Plague Tale Requiem. Wow! Without any spoilers, wow! I have a review of this game, and I think if you want to get more of my thoughts on it, you can check that out. But this would be in my top 3 games of this year so far. So this was really, really great. I don't think it's as strong a game as the first one, but I have been praising the final act of the game as the best final act of a game that I've played this year. Absolutely incredible. Spot number 4, I had Horizon Forbidden West. This would have climbed up as well. This was actually my second favorite game that I played this year. I think it's gorgeous. I think the music is amazing. I think the gameplay has been improved on the first one. The story goes a bit wacky and wild, but there's some great characters, great character moments, such interesting locations and cultures that you come across. One thing that I did say about the game when we were talking about it before on the podcast is that I didn't always feel the need to go do side content because I felt that Aloy's mission or drive to push on and deal with the bigger issue. I aligned with that. I was like, yeah, no, I haven't got time for errands. I got to go deal with some real bad shit here. So in that sense, I left a lot of that content for end game content, but that's the great thing. You can always go back and do it afterwards. But gorgeous game. Really, really good. At spot number 3, at the beginning of the year, I actually had Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, which was the mobile Final Fantasy VII remake game coming. We were fairly sure it was going to come out this year, and it hasn't. My anticipation for the game has decreased, I will say, because there was just nothing to see of it, and still don't really fully know how that game is going to work. Thought we would have definitely been playing it by now. However, I would say this game anyway has been totally replaced on this list as the year went on with Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Reunion, which I am currently playing and really enjoying. The nostalgia, the music, the combat is great in it. So thoroughly enjoying that. At the start of the year, we did not know we were getting that, so that wouldn't have been in my list. However, again, if I was to update the list as the year went on, it would have made it on there. So delighted to be playing that. Spot number 2, I had God of War Ragnarok at the start of the year. This was before we got like the big story trailer that came, maybe a month or two before the game's release. As soon as I saw that trailer, this game automatically became my number 1 most anticipated game, and it is my favorite game this year. This fucking game is amazing. I think if anyone hasn't played it yet but has a PlayStation console, Jesus Christ, jump into it. God of War Ragnarok is incredible, and if you liked God of War 2018, I think you will also love this game. Whether you prefer it or not, that's purely down to your own personal taste in terms of where to go with the story and everything, but my god, just the gameplay, the exploration, the graphics, the performances, the artwork, the realms, the mythos, the lore, it's all there, man. It's so good. I was so delighted with some of the awards that they won at the Game Awards, like Christopher Judge winning Best Performance for Kratos, even Bear McCreary winning Best Score. Like, there's been a lot of great scores this year, but like this game also does have a great score. But yeah, easily my favorite game of the year. So good. And then my number 1 most anticipated game of 2022 at the start of the year was Gotham Knights. So a little update on this. As the year went on, I did a couple of like videos on Gotham Knights and a couple of like I reacted to some of the gameplay, and I was trying to stay excited, but the more they showed me, the less excited I got, to the point where I just really wasn't sure anymore whether, like, they totally deflated my anticipation for the game. Like, I was literally at the start of the year, this was the game I wanted the most. That's why it was my number 1. And just the more they showed, the less interested I was, the less I liked the look of the gameplay, the style, the aesthetics, everything they were going for. It seemed to go against what I'd initially heard in the interviews in the beginning, where it would be very much a story-driven game. I'm sure it is story-driven, but just the kind of looter gameplay that I've seen, it's like a mobile game on console. It just feels so wrong. I got to the point during the year when I was like, I gotta wait for a review. Not that I always go by reviews, but just I was like, there are some gamers on YouTube who I quite trust their instincts on these things. Usually, if they like a game, I usually like it too. Like we usually like the same kinds of things, and they were all saying the same stuff. All the same criticisms were coming up, and it all sounded like stuff I would just hate. And I watched some gameplay and checked it out, and yeah, I didn't even get this game. I just so disappointed. But either way, God of War Ragnarok, like, kicked its ass and became the number 1 most anticipated game as the year went on anyway. Gotham Knights quickly came off this list. So that's just looking back on my top 10 most anticipated games of the year. I did say at the start of the year it would probably change as the year went on, and it did. Another game that would have came onto the list as the year went on actually was the Callisto Protocol, when we found out that was coming out this year, and I'm also currently playing that. I'm enjoying the atmosphere, the lighting, the graphics are fucking incredible, but not enjoying the combat so much at the moment, but still early days yet, so we'll see how it all gels the further I get into it. But now I'd love to hear from you guys, not only your thoughts on each of those games I just mentioned, but did you have games that you were most anticipating earlier in the year, and did it change for you as the year went on? Like, were you surprised by the game that became your number one favorite game of the year, or were the games that you most anticipated, did they ultimately become your favorite games of the year? Do let us know. Let us know what you're playing at the moment. If you're watching this YouTube, jump down in the comments to share all your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this, why not give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, ring that notification bell for all future content. And to those of you who've been listening to us on audio platforms, you can also touch base on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Brothers Take, again, to give your take on the games you've been playing this year, the games that I mentioned, and what were your most anticipated games of 2022. Here's to 2023. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.